Hey there, everybody. I'm Sigor Campos, and today I bring you one of the most insane stories in the history of baseball. So, let's talk about Eddie Gaedel. Eddie Gaedel, Edward Card Gaedel, was born on June 8, 1925, died on June 18, 1965. He made a total of one career plate appearance, which was a 4-pitch walk while playing for the St. Louis Browns, which are now the Baltimore Orioles. He wore number 1/8 during the 1951 season. Okay, so that year the Browns were coming off a terrible season. They went 58-96 in 1950, and their owner was this guy called Bill Veeck. Bill Veeck was a strange person. At one point, he tried to kick the Cardinals out of St. Louis. He was a weird man. So, on August 19th, 1951, the Browns are playing the Detroit Tigers. They play a doubleheader, and in between games, a giant cake. I mean, this is just so ridiculous. I mean, it's like not even real. But just listen to this. A giant cake is brought out to the field to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the American League. Okay, well, it's weird, but nobody expected that a freaking small guy was going to come out of that cake. A dwarf came out of the cake, and he was Eddie Gaedel. Yeah, I mean, that's quite a presentation, right? I mean, press conferences to present players with their new team sound pretty boring now, right? They brought him out on a freaking cake. So he pinch hit in the bottom of the first inning. He got paid $100 for this. And the pitcher, who was Bob Kane, the Tigers pitcher, Bob Kane, walked him on 4 pitches. And then they brought in a pinch runner for Eddie Gaedel. So, I mean, after this happened, the major leagues went crazy, and Eddie Gaedel was banned for life due to his size. Then what happened is that Bill Veeck, after Gaedel was banned, he said that Phil Rizzuto should also be banned because he was 5'6". So Jose Altuve and Alexia Marista, watch out. So he basically, Eddie Gaedel retired with a perfect on-base percentage. And then, I mean, what's also crazy is that before he played, Eddie Gaedel was threatened by Bill Veeck. Bill Veeck threatened to assassinate Eddie Gaedel if he swung the bat. That's so incredible. I mean, this is the most bizarre thing in the world. So after this, Eddie Gaedel just basically went on with his life, but he had a big problem with drinking. And then, I mean, the craziness doesn't even stop there. In 1961, Eddie Gaedel got in a bar fight, and he got killed in that fight. I mean, well, not directly, but the injury sustained in that fight ended up killing the little guy. He was only 36 years old. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And ironically, the only baseball-related person to attend Gaedel's funeral was Bob Kane. Bob Kane, the pitcher that faced Gaedel in his only major league at bat and walked him on 4 pitches. I mean, guys, come on, if that's not the craziest story in baseball, this is just fascinating. I mean, wow. Eddie Gaedel and Bill Veeck gave baseball one of the most ridiculously fantastic stories ever. I mean, could you imagine a conversation? There are pictures of Jose Altuve and John Rauch. Could you imagine Eddie Gaedel and John Rauch? I mean, Gaedel would be like the size of Rauch's shin. Yeah, I mean, so that's Eddie Gaedel. It's one of the most crazy, most horrible things that have ever happened, I think, in baseball. I mean, the way that things went for him, it's just crazy. But when you think about it, Eddie Gaedel could have been a kind of an effective player in the majors if he had played for more than one at bat. Here's the thing, Eddie Gaedel was 3 feet 7 inches tall. That means his strike zone was tiny. So, and his only at bat, he walked on 4 pitches. So imagine if you had a 3 foot 7 inch tall guy in your team nowadays, when it's all based on power and stuff, it would be pretty good to have some solid pinch runners, let him lead off the game, and basically your number one hitter would be on base the entire time. It's a pretty good idea. Or don't start him, and if you need a walk, if you have the bases loaded, you go with Gaedel, and you get a run. They walk the guy with the bases loaded, you get a run. That would be interesting, but unfortunately nowadays the closest we come to Eddie Gaedel is Jose Altuve, and everything good that happens to Jose Altuve is something bad that happens to baseball, unfortunately, because he's a cheater. So, I mean, well, there you have it. That's Eddie Gaedel. I mean, it's a horrible story, to be honest. The way it developed, the way it unfolded. But technically, he's got 2 records. I mean, it took him 1 at bat to break 2 records. He's got the highest on base percentage in the history of the game, tied with some other guys. And also, he's the shortest player in the history of baseball. So thank you, Bill Veeck. I don't know. Thank you. I mean, he was kind of a dick, but he gave us one of the most brilliant stories in baseball history. So, kind of thank you, but screw you at the same time. I don't know. Eddie Gaedel, what a crazy thing to happen, right? So yeah, there you have it. That's gonna do it for today. I hope you like, comment, share the video, subscribe. And of course, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.